Now on to the soaps. And Christmas Day saw viewers wave an emotional goodbye to one of Coronation Street's longest-serving residents, Gail Platt, actress Helen Worth.
It's not goodbye, is it, Gail?
No, Sam. It's just au revoir.
Ready as I'll ever be, Mr. Chadwick.
Are you ready, Mrs. Chadwick?
Ready as I'll ever be, Mr. Chadwick.
Oh, and we're joined today by a fellow Cobbles icon who knows only too well what it's like spending most of your life on a soap, having just started at the age of 15. Please welcome Simon Gregson.
Oh, my God, you're real.
Look at you.
Seen you for years.
In the flesh,
He's
we
the
walk
real-
amongst you.
Walking through the doors open, and there you were. Now, tell us, everyone must have been asking you about the Gail Platt. Did you give anything away? Were there any spoilers that you nearly gave away about Gail leaving?
No, not really. There wasn't really an opportunity to give anything away. I'm a bit of a recluse. I don't really go out anywhere where someone could shove a mic in my face and ask me the question. But, you know, it was a bit of a shock at first when we found out she was going.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, she's part of the furniture. She's always been there.
Yeah.
And, but I totally get it, you know, 50 years.
I mean, you're catching up. You're not far behind, are you?
I started my 36th year yesterday.
Wow.
October, it was 36.
I mean, that's incredible. Does it feel like 36
No,
years?
it feels like 36 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. It's just so much fun, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know what it's like, you know? You guys do this day in, day out. You know all the crew, you know all the production.
Yeah.
And you just become really good friends, especially, you know, 15 when I started.
And Helen must have seen you grow in that
Yeah,
whole
absolutely,
time. What was
yeah.
your last scene with Helen like? Did you feel a bit emotional saying goodbye to her, knowing that it was your...
I didn't have any scenes with her.
Not
I've
in
not
the
been involved
whole-
in that storyline, no.
No, but you must have had a scene with her.
I mean, obviously, me and Helen have done lots of scenes in the past.
Yeah.
But that was long before I knew she was leaving. I don't think I've had a scene.
You
with her
don't think
since I
you've done
knew
one
she
since
was
you knew
leaving.
she was leaving?
No. No, I've had
there's a
scenes
reason
with
to
John
come-
Thompson.
there's a reason for her
which
to
is
come
always a
back.
joy.
Do you think you're like your real character?
Well, yeah, because, you know, I think in many ways, because when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing.
You were 15 when you started, weren't you?
Yeah, I was 14 when I got the job, 15 when I started working, but I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to join the armed forces. So I got this role by accident, and I had to learn what I was doing on the job. So I just kind of said it like I meant it, which I guess is what acting is. Say it like you mean it. Hopefully everyone else will believe it. And so, yeah, a lot of... I just said the lines like I would say them, and so there is a lot of similarity there.
Yeah.
Could you actually imagine life without Corrie, though? You've been in it so long.
I couldn't really know. It is a part of my life. I was saying the other day, you know, if we were ever to be fortunate enough to win the Euro Millions, well, how nice would that be? For everybody to win it. I think I'd still have to work. Yeah, I'd miss it. Because the thing is with us, you know, we have a green room and we're all in there. And it's a weird and wonderful life being, you know, for want of a better word, famous. I got told off for calling myself famous once. I don't know why. But it was... So when we're in the green room, we're all together. You only truly know 100% what it's like to be in that show if you're in that show.
Yeah.
So all of us, we have our own little therapy group in the green room.
It's like a
where
little
we can
bubble,
go
isn't
there.
it? But then saying that, with you growing up on that show, they must have had a lot of, like, they've seen you go through a lot, and on screen and off screen. But on screen, I believe you've been married 7 times on that show.
Yeah.
Right? So I have a question for you, and you didn't know I was going to ask you this. Can you name all your wives on Coronation Street?
Well, I think there was only 5 who got married twice. So there was Vicky first.
Right.
Then there was Karen.
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Becky and Michelle.
There was another
So
one.
Becky twice and Sarah.
Oh,
and
Becky
Karen
twice.
That makes 7.
Tracy? Did you mention her?
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did?
I've got the job.
Well done for remembering all your wives' names. Henry VIII.
Yeah. Don't know my real wife's
No,
name.
true. And is there more love down the line for Steve? Is it
There
coming?
might be, you know, the writers love hapless Steve. You know, that's just what they want.
Yeah.
They just love Steve being in all sorts of trouble all the time. So,
Yeah.
and they'd like him being beaten up and told off and slapped by women. So,
Can I ask how it is for you? Because it's been such a long time and you have grown up and you've had to juggle family life, your kids. How have you managed to do that with the schedule? How have you managed that?
the schedules used to be crazy back in the day, you know, when we were at 5. We're at 6 a week now, so, and there's a lot of cast. So, you know, you do find yourself having a lot of time off now at home.
Right.
Because there's just so many cast members now.
Right.
But back in the day, like when Kim started, Kim Marsh playing Michelle, and Kate Kelly, Becky, and Fordy as well, Kate, who plays Tracy Barlow, although she'd been there a lot longer. I'm digressing massively. The schedules were huge.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a big storyline, you were in at 7:30, you were home by 7, 8 o'clock, and then you have 10, 12 scenes to learn for
Exactly.
the next
Oh,
day,
great,
and that was
yeah.
week in, week out, month in, month out. That's hard. That's hard work. I think Henry, my youngest, out the 3 boys, is the only one I've really had a lot of time with since he was born. The other 2, especially Alfie, my eldest, guy in the middle, you know, I was working a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Talking of children, is it right that you've got a children's book coming out and our Sue Cleaver helped you?
I've got
Or pushed you?
I wrote a children's book called The Dream Dragon. I started it about 12, 13 years ago. Because the boys, my elder 2, Harry, Alfie, they kept having night terrors. So I told them that I had a dragon called the Dream Dragon, which would beat up the nightmares and scare them off. And they believed it. And I had to embellish on this story often. And I was telling a couple of the ladies at work, and they said, you should write it down. 12 years later, I did.
Though? Sue Cleaver, because she's on the panel.
I saw Sue in the green room. I said, I don't know whether it's for me. Me writing a book, you know. And Sue said, look, if you tell yourself you can't, then you won't.
Yeah.
You know, anyone can write a book, so why can't you?
And that comes out this year, does it?
Hopefully. We've had a bit of interest. Penguin have shown a bit of interest. It's going to other publishers.
That's great,
let's
especially because
see.
you know it helped your son. It's actually got proof. It's got a track record, hasn't
Yeah.
it? This helped your kids, so you're going, maybe this will help yours, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, it's a nice little message
Now,
in
Simon,
there.
we want you to stay with us because it's time for a break. But a few weeks ago, you may have remembered that we completed our most ambitious project to date, a 25-hour talkathon, which was raising awareness for mental health and raising money for our Britain Get Talking charities. Simon was involved, and because of your own story, which you're going to share with us later,